was worried. We are loading in. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our Brazilian Protoss player, the red Protoss. It is VicBansemer. Victor, baby, let's go. On, I believe, Host Gaming or Host Masters. I'm not entirely certain the name of I believe Host Gaming. As we are setting up. There it is. Beautiful. Rank 15. Let's go. As spawning in the right hand corner, we have the Brazilian Zerg player going for an earlier pull timing. It is Thypan. Also for Host Gaming. Again, both players are on the same team. They are teammates. There are a set number of teams that are kind of these more prominent forces in Brazil. Teams like, Team The Bad, Eximius Gaming, Team Hellfire, and Host Masters as well, or Host Gaming. And here we go. 12 income, yes, did have the initial 12 pull, 6 lings on the way. Victor does come in with the probe scout. He will confirm the initial early pull. He is aware. He does get a full scout of the main. He knows what's going on. Back at home, he should respond here with a wall. Should be able to chrono out his first zealot. Now, this doesn't have to be an all-in. There are variations where you go for an expand or where you pull the boys. And what's happening? We're pulling the boys. Let's go! 12 pull drone pull. And Thypan, he commits. Now, I don't think the scanning probe actually saw the workers, so I don't think he's fully aware. Now he knows. Yeah, now he knows. The probe did actually double back. So Victor is fully aware what's going on. We do need to pull a couple of boys to help defend. As in Victor, we do need a couple of probes here on the low ground. If not, things can get out of hand real fast and real quick. As the boys have arrived, they can drone troll past. They're going for the pylon. Oh, going for the zealot. Zealot taking a lot of damage. A couple of boys are pulled as well. He gets us around. And the first zealot should fall. And he needs that pylon. Second zealot is going to be chronoed. Extra probes falling. And we're running out of steam. Yeah, last Thypan, he's running out of steam. He's running out of lings. Yeah, unable to break through. And Victor, he responded well. He reacted well here, pulling those probes. That second zealot does survive, and we're that's it. that's all we had left. Aye. I mean, sure, he killed the first zealot, but he was unable to depower the gateway or really maintain control of the natural. And there's nothing left. Back at home, there's what, there's 3 drones mining. There's a couple of lings on the way. A couple of lings. And they can maybe threaten the natural a little bit, but now that the adept is out, I mean, we're fine. Victory's perfectly safe and sound. Yeah, shield battery is out. Zealot will not go down. Lings are being cleaned up. And Victor holds. Victor, he holds. He's going for his own counterattack as well. Thypan, he's coping a little bit with his 3 drones. Let's go. 3 drones in a dream. He can macro. he still has an income of some kind. Keep going, Pappy. Keep going. As they say, shade across the map. And again, shout out to Victor for, again, scouting, for confirming what's going on, playing it safe. And he does rock up to finish off whatever is left here in the main. Catching out the final 4 drones. And without a doubt, yeah, the final drone goes down. Thypan, he cannot afford anything else. GG gets called as he is out of any kind of economy. And Victor will take game number 1. GG. GG. Oh no, I didn't even get to start the predictions. No. Everything just happens so quickly. If you're in the chats, you can predict. The predictions are open after the first game. God damn it. God damn it. I was engrossed in the 12 pool. I was engrossed. But we can now jumping into game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on a much larger map, going to be on, almost at Frost Line, on Near Violet Square. I did mention earlier that all-ins are going to be a little bit more effective on smaller maps like Ultra Love, so I'm not too opposed to the 12 pool here. Unfortunately, he wasn't quite able to drone drill or preserve his workers and really buffer and yeah, make the overall build too successful. But coming into Neo Violet Square, I would expect to see something very different here, as this is the largest map in the tournament map pool. Long rush distance by ground. We have a pocket expansion. Last time we were here, we had like what, a 40-minute game or like 35-minute game, just mech versus mech. Here PvZ is a little bit different. On the one hand, the Protoss player can more easily get into Skytoss. On the other hand, the Zerg player can easily gain map control and get a greater economy and try to overwhelm the Protoss. We'll see. We'll see how our two players do approach this. I don't expect another 12 pool. That'd be crazy. Something cheesy you can do on this map is rush into the gold. There is a gold base in the center of Neo Violet Square. You can take that as a natural, rush into it and use that to go into an all-in, into like a roach all-in or a bane bust. There are ways to be cheesy and to take that gold, but we'll see. We'll see how our players will approach this. So jumping into game 2. Now no drones in a dream. Oh no, he's sleeping, Bobby. He's sleeping. No dreams. So we're loading into that second game. And again, Victor, he's arguably the #1 seed of the of the group, not of the tournament. That'd be great. #1 seed of the group to make it out. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else Victor can bring to the table here, outside of just his early game defense. We'll see what a more mid game looks like between the two players. Let's go. So we're getting into Neo Violet Square. Another factor here, as we saw in that TVT previously, is just how difficult it is to get a 6th base on this map. The 6th expansion is very, very isolated and very difficult to maintain, especially if your opponent has map control. But we'll see. This is when we just 12 pull drone pull again. This is no, not again, Pappy, not again. As spawning in the top left hand, he's doing it again. God damn it! Spawning in the top left hand corner of Neo Violet Square, we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the red Protoss for host gaming. It is Victor, and bottom right, there's no drones. There's no drones in production. He's doing it. He's crazy, man. He's crazy. Ay ay ay. Waiting for the stats. Show us the stats back. And there it is, rank number 15 in the overall Brazilian circuit. And in the bottom right hand corner, we do have, oh, this is a little bit different actually, going for a 12-11. It is Thypan. Okay, so not the same kind of cheese here from our blue Zerg player. Okay, so he will go still for an early pool timing, does go for early gases as well. This can lead into a Bane Bust. There are a couple of options here. This could be either a Bane Bust, this could just be a Ling Flood, this could be a Roach Rush as well. There are different ways in which Thypan can actually make use of that gas. Regardless, hyper aggression, we have the answer. It's not a Bane Bust or a Ling Flood, it is a Roach Rush. Roach Warren gets thrown down. Now Victor, he does come in with a Pro Scout, and Victor, he will see everything in the main. He sees the gases, sees the spawning pool, and he confirms the Roach Warren as well. You can see him double take. The probe does a double take. He's like, hold on. He's like, what's going on? Had to rub his eyes a little bit there, but does confirm. And with this information back at home, as of course Icegar is pointing out that he did scout, we are setting up with the wall on the low ground. Rush distance by ground is very long, of course. From here we can go for a Robo defense or a Stargate defense with Void Rays or Immortals. Shield Battery is going to be on the horizon here as well to fortify that ramp. That's the other factor here, is that this map does have a ramp leading into the natural, which makes it even more difficult to break because you need high ground vision. There are other maps like Whispers of Gold or Airhome, or even Ley Lines that don't have that added kind of feature at the natural, which make it more easier here to go for these kind of all-ins. But specifically on Neo Violet Square, the ramp does pose another challenge for Thypan. As Roaches are welding across the map. Looks like we have confirmation. He's not going for the robot defense, he's going for the Stargate. I mean, this also allows him to counterattack after the defense as well. So Stargate into Void Ray, most likely. Shield batteries are on the way. And it's all about Victor just buying time for his Stargate defense. Buying time for his Stargate production. Thypan morphing in those Ravagers. Bearing in mind there's no link speed behind this, so you cannot reinforce and floodlings across the map. It's just Ravagers and Slowlings. Meanwhile, we have a second pylon just to make sure that everything stays powered. Victor's looking very comfortable here, even going for the Hallucination Scouts to confirm. So far, a clean reaction out of Victor. No overreaction. Like, he's still got his natural, he's still probing, still saturating. Defending with one Stalker. Does take the bot to the face. Nice force field. He is zoning away the rest of the army, cleaning up the first wave of Lings. And you can see that Thypan is gaining some ground here, but he bleeds out all those Lings. And the Void Ray is out. And again, it was all about just buying time for the Void Ray. Thypan, he does get a couple of rope kills. He does get into the natural, but the second shield battery is now done. And he's locked in. Yeah, he's locked in. There's no escape. Pile doesn't connect. Ravagers are going to be targeted. And Victor, he will defend. He will defend, he will hold, he will shut this down completely. And now he can counterattack. The Void Ray can break out. We have Adepts on the ground. Victor, he's up on bases, or he's even on bases, I should say. He's up on workers. He has a massive economic advantage. And Thypan's in a rough position here. He's in a rough position. Now, I do appreciate that it was a different build, at least. It wasn't a 12-pool drone pool. But unfortunately, the map itself is working against Thypan. Again, this is the largest map. It takes so long to get across the map. There's the ramp as well. Makes it more difficult to actually assault the natural. So the map is working against him. And on top of that, Victor, he's been scouting, right? He's been very safe. Very safe. There are some Protoss players that will go for a probe scout. They will see that there's nothing at the natural, and they will just stay there to pylon block, or even just check the third base location to make sure there's no like unnatural natural. But Victor, like every time, just so quick to go into the main, so quick to confirm. Victor looking solid, even supply blocking Thypan. Hunting down another Overlord. I mean, alas, there's no Queen at the natural. Yeah, there is no Queen. Reinforcements on the way. And speaking of the Queen, oh, the one Queen, no, get out of here. Queen is gonna go down. That's all the anti-air that there was. I mean, sure, there's a couple of spores. Adepts have control of the natural. They shaded to the main. Victor, he will overwhelm. Catching out all the Overlords. Heavily supply blocking Thypan. Yo, we got the layer on the way. Let's go. The final Queen goes down. Now it's only spores. And we have 3 Void Rays. At this point, with 3 Void Rays, you could just try to... Oh my god. Let's take him out to the face. But he could just try to break the spores. Going for the expansion. GG gets called. And it's almost like we're back in 2020 with the original, sorry, 2018, I want to say, with the original Neo Violet Square, the Void Rays, they're back. They're back again. GG gets called, and Victor, he will take the series at 2-0. GG. He will claim the series. Again, Thypan just trying to go for early game aggression. 12 pull in game 1. We did see a 13-12 variation in game number 2. Just hyper aggression from our Zerg player. And unfortunately, Victor, he was just all over the scouting, all over his opponents. GG. GG, well played. With that, we do have our winners match. Now, Elevolts, he won the previous series. Victor won this series, which means they will face off against each other in that winners match to determine who makes it out of the group in first place. Oh boy. Of course, these next 2 competitors are going to be closer in skill. And we do need a moment to set that up. Likewise, we will be seeing more of Thypan after that series. Thypan, he gets knocked down to the elimination match. It's going to be Thypan versus Matrix after this series to determine who is the first player out of the group eliminated from the group, I meant to say. So, worst map to do that? It is. It is the worst map, unfortunately. The maps, they do often kind of dictate certain builds, like what builds are a little bit stronger, what builds are weaker. Neo-Violet Square, it's a PSA. If you're a bit of a cheeser out there, this is not the map to all in quite like this. I guess technically there are like other like proxies that you can go for. True, like that doesn't matter the size of the map if you go for a proxy. But if you're producing from back at home like this, like it takes a long time to get across the map. There's a ramp as well. Like it can be brutal. Can be brutal. Otherwise, GG well played. We're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, videos will be done and we'll be jumping into Victor versus Elevolts. See you soon after the break. See you soon, Bobby. See you soon.